Hello friends, I am the Cheese Doctor, and today we are going to talk about one of the most intense and appreciated cheeses in France, Epoisse cheese. This Burgundy cheese is famous for its washed rind and unmistakable aroma. It is a true sensory experience. Did you know that Epoisse cheese was once considered one of the most important cheeses in France? Moreover, it became the favorite of Napoleon Bonaparte. In this video, we will explore its fascinating history, how it is produced, and at the end of the video, I will make a pairing suggestion that will elevate your tasting experience to a whole new level. So stay tuned until the end to discover it. Epoisse's cheese originated in the 10th century when Cistercian monks in the Burgundy region began to develop it. The recipe later passed into the hands of local farmers, who then perfected it. During the 19th century, Epoisse was so famous that it became known as the king of cheeses. Even Napoleon Bonaparte was a great fan of this cheese, although the intensity of its aroma probably surprised him more than once. This cheese was considered by many to be the best cheese in the world. But don't let its smell fool you. Epoisse has much more to offer besides the smell, of course. Later in the video, I will tell you why its aging is key to developing those complex flavors that make it so unique, especially the wood used in this process. So stay with me until the end of the video. Epoisse is made exclusively from cow's milk, and traditionally raw milk is used. Although there are also versions made with pasteurized milk, it is generally made with raw milk. After milking, the milk is coagulated and the curds are placed in molds where they are allowed to drain naturally. This cheese is not pressed. Then, the cheeses are salted and the aging process begins, which can last from 4 to 8 weeks. And here I'm going to give you a secret. What distinguishes Epoisse is that during its aging, this cheese is regularly washed with a mixture of brine and Marc de Bourgogne, which is a local brandy. That is one of the secrets. This process not only gives the cheese that distinctive flavor and its orange color, but also contributes to its aroma, those tannins, and its penetrating smell and the complexity of its flavor. Epoisse cheese has a washed rind, and its rind is reddish-orange, shiny and sticky to the touch. When cut, you will find a creamy and fluid paste, light ivory in color. Its aroma is very intense and has notes of yeast, earthy notes, and a hint of alcohol due, of course, to the Marc de Bourgogne. On the palate, this cheese is surprisingly balanced because it is creamy, has a salty flavor, is slightly spicy, and has a fruity finish with hints of mushrooms. A good Epoisse should be fluid when cut, but not too liquid, as this is considered a defect. If it is too dry, it may have been stored incorrectly. A very common problem with Epoisse is that its strong aroma can intimidate those trying it for the first time. My advice is to let it come to room temperature for at least 30 minutes before consuming. Why? Because this way its flavors will fully develop and the smell will soften a bit more. And here's another tip. When you store it, wrap it in special cheese paper. There is a paper out there that is like a kind of wax paper, and place it in an airtight container in the refrigerator, and this will prevent its aroma from spreading too much throughout your home. A common mistake when consuming this cheese is not eating the rind. Don't make the mistake of ignoring the rind. Although the rind may not look very appealing, it is completely edible and adds great character to the cheese. Epoisse pairs perfectly with white wines. For example, we could use a Chablis or a dry Riesling, or if you prefer red wines, you can opt for a light and fruity wine like Pinot Noir. You can also pair it with Merlot, which I really enjoy, and perhaps a Cabernet Sauvignon. Those wines are a bit stronger, but they can still be paired with this type of cheese. One of the most delicious ways to enjoy this cheese is simply to melt it over baked potatoes. Just cut the cheese into pieces, place it over the potatoes, heat it, and let it melt naturally. This is a simple recipe, but it's spectacular, so I highly recommend it. And here you have another French cheese, Epoisse. It is a cheese that not only has a rich history, but also a flavor and aroma that make it an unforgettable experience. Do you dare to try it? Do you dare to do it? Let me know in the comments, and if you liked the video, I invite you to subscribe and activate the notification bell. Until next time.